I'm Kaplan America. Welcome to this month's auction at Kaplan Cycles. Buy a raffle ticket today for 10 bucks. Subscribe to the channel or I'll tase you. If you want to see your bike in the next Kaplan Cycles auction, give us a call. We'll buy your whole collection or one bike anywhere in the United States. Subscribe today or else. What's happening, fellas? Feast your eyes on this classic. This is an original, 100% original, 1,976 miles shown on the odometer, Yamaha RT3. This is owned by a local collector who has had quite a few of these vintage DT and RT Yamahas come through his shop, and he's gone right through this one. It has barely been broken in with 1,900 miles, but it's been sitting for 40 years, so he took the top end off and completely honed the cylinder and put a brand new Oem Yamaha piston and rings, and I'll get into that in a second, but you got to hear this thing run. It runs beautifully. Big bore, 2-stroke, 360cc torque induction, 5-speed. All the lights, everything works on it beautifully like it did when it was new, because it's essentially a new motorcycle, under 2,000 miles. Total time capsule. Absolutely fantastic, original. Zero piston slap. This is a brand new piston, tuned to perfection. Man, this thing feels like a brand new motorcycle. This absolutely feels like a brand new motorcycle. Pour up the grass over here, I'd like to know. What a kick-ass machine. It runs perfectly. Brand new top end on a 1,900 mile bike. It don't get no better than this. If you're looking for a classic Yamaha, buy this one. They're getting hard to find. There's a reason why these were so popular with Yamaha back in the day, why they sold so many of them, and why most of them were ridden into the ground and destroyed, because they're an absolute joy. This thing you can ride 4 seasons. You can ride it in the winter with the trials tires, work like a snow tire on the tar. It's 100% street legal. Headlight, turn signals. The gauges look like they just came out of the box. These look like NOS gauges. They're absolutely beautiful. The glass is crisp and clear on them. The original bars are beautiful. The original turn signals look brand new, as do the levers and the mirror, the choke cable, everything. These are all original and they look brand new. Just an absolute time capsule. No piston slap whatsoever because the top end's brand new, just broken in. Stock exhaust sounds fantastic. Just a great bike. You can ride it at night, ride it in the daytime, use it for transportation. If you're a little guy, you can ride this thing flat-footed. You can be 5'2" and ride this thing no problem, or a little girl can ride this bike. A beginning rider would feel comfortable because it's low to the ground and stable and easy to ride and torquey. But a pro rider like me is not going to get tired of it because it's got a ton of torque and horsepower, and it'll do 75, 80 miles, 85 miles an hour with the right gearing. Can be ridden on the interstate with the right gearing. back roads, country roads, whatever you want to do. Or roll it into the museum. If you're a collector looking for an investment quality classic, you can't beat the RT3. Again, it's been gone through. The complete top end was removed. The exhaust system was stripped and repainted. The cylinder was honed. The original bore was in perfect condition, so it was just honed. And a new piston was installed with a new top end bearing, new wrist pin, new circlips. The cylinder was painted, as you can see. The exhaust was painted. The engine cases were polished. The cylinder head was decarbonized. A new plug was installed. New head gasket, new base gasket, all new Yamaha part numbers, and a new spark plug was installed. It's got, if you come around this side, you can see it's got a new fuel line with an inline fuel filter. The carburetor was carefully cleaned and rebuilt. The original the petcock was rebuilt. The intake was polished, as you can see.
There's new transmission oil and injection oil.
New gear oil, new injector oil. Injector works perfectly. It's timed perfectly. The engine cases are beautifully polished. The original shifter is in brand new condition, as is the pegs. No evidence of any off-road use or damage on the frame. Original kickstand, chain guides, shock, sprocket, all original components are intact, including the original tires, guys. These are the original Dunlop Trials universal tire from 1973, and they're in excellent condition, indicating it was stored in a climate-controlled area. Back in the day, they had Zerk fittings on the swing arm so you could grease your swing arm bearings. Unlike the new bikes, they're built to be disposable. These have greased bearings, and that's why the bike still runs and is in good condition many moons later. These were built to last. This is when Yamaha had something to prove.
It's got a new battery in it.
New battery. The seat pan, is, as you'll note, was beautiful.
The factory airbox is intact, which is, you don't really see that.
Has original Stanley 040 4918 rear taillight and original reflector on the license plate mount.
The tool pouch is still present.
Tool pouch is present. Just a beautiful piece. Want to bring the block over? Junior, would you like to add anything about this bike? I know you probably know more about it than I do, but...
Yeah, the cost of labor is going up. It's difficult to find people to work on these bikes, although they're simplistic in nature. The front and rear fenders are metal. The later models this changed, but it's nearly impossible to find straight fenders for these bikes. So you see them bringing $250, $300 for the front fender, same for the rear. What does it cost to paint the injection tank, the tank, and the headlight ears and the headlight bucket? Probably $1,200, and you're going to have to wait months for a Yamaha specialist to do it for you. And after that, it's only original once. There we have the title, we have the Yamaha warranty service card, we have the original RT3 manual. I've never even seen one of those before.
It's kind of a cool looking piece of nostalgia itself. Look at it, the blue and orange RT3 owner's manual in mint condition. And in here we have the original Yamaha warranty identification card, which is something, if you're a collector, you could frame this and put it with the bike. The original temporary permit, 10-day permit. And of course, we've got good clean title to the bike right here.
There's no excuses on this one, guys, and it would be very difficult to replicate. It's definitely investment grade. Just the fact that the seat foam isn't crumbling out of this seat.
Which is,
it's got the original seat cover, and I think the owner mentioned that there was there's a little bit of an imperfection on this side. Let me try and get a good focus on that. But they're only original once. The paint just shows beautifully, guys. It's not perfect, but it's original. The inside of the tank's nice and clean. Let me get a shot of that for you.
Wow, looks brand new. No cheesy coating on that. That's beautiful.
The original grips, controls, the compression release. There's 3 keys for this.
You guys got another complete set.
Bike's never been crashed. Oh. I don't think it's on the paperwork, but there are new brake shoes in the front. So, stops on a dime. And all the lights work. This is done by someone who specializes with Yamaha Enduros and has done several of these before, all of which have gone to auction and ended up in the hands of serious collectors.
If you want to ride 2-up with your wife or your kids, there's nothing like the big bore 2-stroke 360. It has the passenger buddy pegs already installed. This would be a great bike to take on vacation, put it on the back of your camper, or keep it at your beach house, whatever. Just a real head turner conversation piece that, unlike buying a new 450 today for 12 grand, Next year it's worth 8. The year after that, 7. And 5 years from now, you're lucky to get 3 to 5 grand on a trade-in. This thing's going up in value daily, and it's arguably more fun and definitely more of a conversation piece.
Definitely investment grade. We get a lot of chances to test the market here. We sell hundreds of bikes every few weeks, and the market for the 68 to 73 Yamaha Enduros is the hottest of any 70s trail bike, period. Definitely investment grade, big pool of buyers for these, and a lot of collectors looking to fill that spot with a 73.
There's a reason for that, and that's because the guys buying them now, a lot of them, have either their father had one or their grandfather had one, or they had one. They're my age in their late 50s, early 60s, and they rode one when they were a kid. Nothing but fond memories, because these things wouldn't, unlike the Rickmans and the Zundaps and some of the off brands that the Carabellas that would leave you stranded in the woods, some of the Spanish brands may have been less reliable. These things were absolutely stone cold reliable. It could be used as a daily rider 4 seasons. So lots of great memories, and that hasn't changed. This bike is still capable of being a daily rider, although I wouldn't want to rack up too many miles on it. I mean, it's so valuable with low miles. It's just they're a fantastic investment quality piece, and the Yamaha, the tuning fork company, they did it right, man. They still look cool 50 years later. If you have any questions about this classic, give us a call, 860-454-7024. God bless Yamaha, and God bless America.